Alright, so if you've used a computer in the past, god, 30 years, you're familiar with Windows, obviously. These brilliant little things. They all have this title bar here, uh, and, it's pretty universal. Well, with Windows, especially on Linux, most application developers will use a library to get this done. They'll use like something like SDL or GLFW. For a while now, I have been making um, a small little like game engine for myself to do something, and I have actually been doing windowing myself. Here, we'll go to Platform Linux, and I have been working with raw Wayland and raw X11. This isn't something most people do, and the fact that it's something that most people don't do is about to become very important. But yeah, I don't why. I don't know. Felt like it, I guess. Okay, I have an actual reason, but the actual reason isn't even important for this. So why am I bringing this up? Well, when working with raw Wayland, we deal with protocols. We got like the core Wayland protocol. Your application deals with the presentation time and tablet stuff. These are all stable. One of the flaws with Wayland that I'll admit is it has a bunch of these protocols that are considered unstable or staging. And for one reason or another, despite how useful they are, they might take years to get merged into core or become a stable protocol. And that assumes that they even make it to stable and they don't get canned. Now, in practice, I'm actually kind of fine with this because a lot of these protocols are just they're kind of like fully supported anyways and haven't been updated for years. Stuff like the XCG shell protocol. This is the protocol for basically when you make an application, when you make a window. Um, this is the protocol for requesting that the window manager decorate your window with the title bar and shit, right? Um, and we can see here that I don't think this has been updated since about 2018. But if we scroll all the way down here to our compatibility list, oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. No, sorry, we want this one. This is the protocol we want. Um, so you can see pretty much everybody supports it in its current state. A few don't support it, and there's kind of some interesting reasons about why they don't. GameScope is Valve's window manager that is only designed to run full screen applications on the Steam Deck, so of course they don't support it. Weston is the reference implementation for Wayland, so they only implement any of the stable stuff. And then there's Butter from Gnome. So here's this issue from 2018, requesting that Gnome supports this, and they said there are no plans to support server-side decorations under Wayland, and it will be a step backward from the path we are aiming for with Wayland. Client versus server is an endless debate which should not take place in this ticket. What they're talking about here is with applications, you either have client side or server side decorations, and basically, client side is when the application does the title bar and shit itself, like Zed here, or VS Code or something. Server side is when, as I just described, the application will request decorations from the window manager. All right, so it's an endless debate. That's interesting. It's the first time I've ever heard of this debate. For hints, see, for example, this blog right here from Gnome. Introducing the CSD initiative. Unless you're one of a very lucky few, you probably use apps with title bars. In case you never come across that term, title bars are the largely empty bars at the top of some application windows. They contain only the window title and a close button. Uh, okay. And are completely separate from the Windows content. This makes them very inflexible as they cannot contain any additional UI elements or integrate with the application's window content. Blender, with its badly integrated and pretty much useless title bar. What is Blender going to use the title bar to its fullest extent for? Do you want them to do what Zed does here, where they like have the like window options and shit like merged into the title bar? I guess. Let's look at how it looks on KDE though. Look at this. Look at this, right? First of all, this is already kind of packed, and you want them to pack the title and close buttons into it? Yeah, no. I don't think Blender's is badly integrated and pretty much useless. I think the title bar is being used for what most people would use it for. But okay, let's continue. Luckily, the GNOME ecosystem has been moving away from title bars in favor of header bars. This is a newer, more flexible pattern that allows putting window controls and other UI elements in the same bar. Header bars are client-side decorations, which means they are drawn by the app rather than the display server. Okay, so what you want here is you want us to, the application developer, you want to put this shit all in the title bar right here with only the X button and the maximize. There's no maximize and minimize button. That's right, because it's GNOME. But not everybody uses GNOME, and so this is gonna become a bit important. This, the fuck am I looking at? They have the audacity to say that Blender's title bar is useless and is badly integrated, and then they're asking us to do this. They want applications to do this instead. Shove everything in the title bar like this. All GNOME apps have moved to header bars over the past few years, and so have many third-party apps. However, there are still a few holdouts. Sadly, these include some of the most important productivity apps that people rely on for day-to-day, such as LibreOffice. I don't have LibreOffice installed. Inkscape and Blender. The only way to solve this problem long term is to patch up applications upstream to not use title bars. I'm hereby announcing the CSD initiative, an effort to get as many applications as possible to drop title bars in favor of client-side decorations. Okay, so, I didn't know this was a debate. Maybe I have the hot take by saying that this is completely batshit, but okay, fine. That's an opinion. That's certainly one of the opinions of all time. Here's the problem with that. Earlier, I was mentioning SDL and GLFW, right? These things that handle window creation for you. This is what most, like, sane people do. I'm finding out about this because of a thing that most people aren't stupid enough to do. Most people are not stupid like me and just use ready-made things, right? Well, here's the thing with that. This is what most application developers will look like. And do you notice something? You might not notice something about this code, but SDL doesn't use header bars or whatever the fuck it's called. SDL, the cross-platform window library that supports things far stretching to, I don't fucking know, Windows XP and later, Mac OS 10.4, Linux, etc. All of this. It supports the fucking Sony PSP. Yeah, SDL doesn't have, this. So what's an application developer to do if they're not doing this shit by hand, or if they're not using a library to, I assume, if we look at GTK, yeah, GTK has header bars and shit. So, like, what if the application developer isn't using GTK, which, by the way, is very shit across platforms. It's horrible on Windows. I don't even know if it supports Mac. It probably does, but it's pretty bad. What if the application developer isn't using that? And here's a second question. Well, on top of that, what if the application developer is, I don't know, using GTK or some shit? And what if they are able to do this, and they have no reason to put all this shit in the title bar or the header bar? And I want to ask one last thing. What if the application developer is doing this insane thing where they make an application that works on Windows, Mac, Linux, or etc.? What if they're not exclusively developing for the Linux desktop that is using GNOME? What if, dare say, they're developing for the Linux desktop that might not use GNOME? Fucking, I have a GNOME application on here. What if I don't fucking, have I gone mad? Have I entered the Twilight Zone? I'm sorry. How is this a real opinion? Okay, so wait a second. Wait a fucking second! Are you looking at this shit? This isn't making full use of the title bar either! Look at how fucking empty this is! This is just a regular ass window. Oh, but we have this disk menu right here on the left side. What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? That's fucking stupid! I would respect other people's choices. And hey, I mean, there are applications that can probably make, like what Zed does here. This isn't the horrible use of the application title bar. This isn't bad. So, you know, it's like, I would respect this opinion if it wasn't being used for justification for GNOME not giving you a standard title bar. No. We just want to, we have this minimalistic goal. We want you to do your own fucking title bar. If GNOME, dare I say, didn't have you do your own goddamn title bar, it would just conflict with the minimalism. Just think of the minimalism. We want this. What? And this infuriates me as one of the few people who is doing this shit by hand, who is fucking, like, actually doing Windows shit by hand, because I don't fucking know. This doesn't matter why I'm doing it. What matters is that this actually matters to me, because what? You want me to fucking, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to do the title bar myself? You want me to fucking... Sorry, you're right. I should be doing the title bar completely on my own. Just look at all this wasted space that I have in this, what is this again? Oh yeah, this is a fucking video game. What am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do there? You want me to make my own goddamn title bar. You want me to waste development time making a title bar, which, by the way, a lot of these window managers are, like, tiling window managers. They have, like, a pretty fair reason not to actually support this protocol. And then there's one of the most widely used window managers in existence, who, by the way, is about to drop X11 and move completely to Wayland, so this is about to get forced for everybody. You would like me to waste time breaking compatibility on other window managers because you have this bullshit reason that not everybody agrees with? You want me to do that by hand? Fucking get real. This is not... How is this a debate? How is there an endless debate that would start from this? This is fucking stupid. I wouldn't use an application like this. And if I did have to use it, I wouldn't give a shit that it's all in the title bar. I would be completely fine with it for there being a title bar right here. I would be fucking fine with this. But no. We want other application developers to develop for this weird, fucked up vision we have where we clutter and shove everything into the title bar. And you know, some application developers might not want to do that. And also, some application developers might not be able to do that because they might not be using that GTK. They might be using SDL or Qt or whatever. And to that we say, suck my dick. Fuck off, I guess. Why are they like... This isn't even, like, an isolated issue with this window manager. Gnome has been on record for doing this shit. Because they have this weird goal of minimalism. Which, by the way, they're basically designing for the user that doesn't exist. Gnome feels like somebody lost an argument about how Linux was more complicated than Windows. And they decided to, like, completely misunderstand it and thought, oh yeah, you know, Linux is too complicated for the end user. You know what we need? We need to, make it stupid as fuck to use. Make it this ultra minimalist thing. We're not gonna talk to anybody about, what they like with their computer. We're just gonna kind of assume that, people, like this, you know? We're just gonna assume that people would like this. Nobody... I'm sorry that this rant is, like, completely incomprehensible. But it's just... I can't fucking comprehend this. And it's like, I wish I didn't have to, like, dog on people's preferences like this. Because, sure, if that's your preference with the title bar, sure. But now, you are forcing others to put up with this. You are forcing others to put up with this, what you even admit is a controversial ideology. And most of them aren't even going to put up with this. I'm probably one of the only people on Earth who gives a shit. Because most people are just going to use SDL or whatever. People don't like GTK. I've talked with people who, like, do shit like use libraries like this. People don't like GTK. They think because it runs poorly on Windows, it's not cross-platform. It is a Linux-only thing. And so what you'll find is that it's often the Linux-first programs or whatever using GTK, but not everybody is making a Linux-first program. I don't even know how to end this video. Apparently, I'm throwing my ring into a debate that exists. This philosophical debate about whether a window should draw its own title bar or whether it should get them from the OS, and whether the... I don't fucking know, man.